Welcome back to my channel for another video. So here we are back again, FTSE100 European Open. So this time this is a little bit different, this trade. You know that I only trade the two same instruments, the Dow Jones and the FTSE100. And there's enough options there. You know my opinion on futures and trading. Futures is the way to go. It's the way forward. So this particular trade, I actually had a pre-market position. I also traded on the open. But then I seen this amazing opportunity, which is why I ended up recording the actual trade. So I always say though, after the spike there has to be a pullback, and after the sell-off there has to be a recovery. And this is the same again. It's the exact same again, okay? History repeats itself time and time again. The historical data tells us this. And it's been telling me this for a long time now. So I like to play these setups. There's only certain setups that I play. I only trade two patterns. And they're the two patterns that I teach to my students. That's it. Just the two simple patterns and that's it. My approach to trading the stock market is very, very simplified. I cut out all the noise. I don't overanalyze the market. I think that's where people get mixed up. There's a lot of analysis that is not required. That might work for some people. Me personally, I found that the stripping away down to the bare essentials is what has been my key to success and to profitability and sustainability in the stock market. So hope you enjoyed this week's video. £379, 15 minutes into the open, something like that. And so 10-15 minutes into the open, the correct setup was there, took this opportunity, and these are the opportunities that you must look for. So as usual guys, make sure you smash that like button, make sure that you subscribe to my channel for more videos like this. And if you want to contact me, you can contact me on my Instagram, sambora.00. If you want to follow me on Instagram, you can see what we get up to on a daily basis. I show my students what they're doing, etc. So some fun stuff in there as well. So follow me on Instagram. And I also have my new company, Sambora Entertainment. So check that out on Instagram also. There's also a website. So hope you guys enjoyed this week's video. Okay, so this was the team this morning. So just a little glimpse at how my chat room looks, how my financial community looks. So this is the team making profit. Okay, so this particular trade here, this is 6.5 contracts on the FTSE 100, otherwise known as UK 100 on my broker. Okay, so again, you know, I've said it many times before guys, I only trade certain setups, and when them setups don't occur, I don't trade. So I wait for these setups to happen and then I enter my position. And again, that's the great thing about futures, and in particular the Dow Jones and the FTSE 100, is the diversification in which it presents. So there's many opportunities when you're trading futures. And you know, sometimes it's literally just a case of watching a particular setup happen and you go in and you execute your trade. And this is what I teach my students. You know, we allow the stock market to do the work. We don't go hunting down these setups. We allow them to naturally take place, to naturally happen. And then when we see them happen, that's when we take our position up. Okay, so there'll be multiple opportunities throughout the day. And again, the wonderful thing about futures is, even if you're working a full-time job, you know, you don't have to particularly trade the opens. If you cannot, you can trade midday through the session as well, only if the setup is correct though. You don't go in and place trades randomly. It's only when the setup is correct. And that's what I teach my students. So there's a number of my students that cannot trade the opens because they're in a full-time job at the moment, and they find that when they're maybe on the lunch break, something like that, they're watching the charts, and if an opportunity comes up, i.e. if the correct setup comes up, well then they place their trade. And that's what it's all about. So that's my approach to the market. It's very simplified. You know, we allow the stock market to do the work for us. We know that an opportunity will present itself. It's just a case of waiting for that opportunity to arise. Now obviously, I've said before, I trade two patterns and that's it. I only ever trade two patterns anymore, and that's the setup that we look for, is the patterns. But obviously there's a lot more to it. You know, there's a lot more to look out for. There's a number of things that you need to watch. So it's the approach that, you know, that I have found very sustainable over a long period of time. Okay, so you know what I would say is, when people ask me, you know, are you looking for a new strategy? Are you looking for new patterns? Well, no. I mean, I don't need to. I don't need to look for another strategy. I don't need to look for, you know, other patterns, because this nets me a very, very good win rate. So, you know, I'm happy with the patterns. I'm happy with the strategy. You know, I'm not going to change it anytime soon. You know, I've absolutely no need to change it. You know, it works. You know, the strategy works, and it's simplified. You know, and I think that a lot of my students coming in, especially students that are maybe new to the stock market, they do like the fact that it's a simplified approach. But again, you know, this gives me confidence. You know, the setup was absolutely spot on. The setup was correct, and when I see this particular setup, you know, I can hold this position, you know, quite comfortably, and I can hold it with confidence, because the setup, the way it is, it gives me confidence to hold it. Okay, so, you know, there's a lot of elements to the strategy, but again, it is very simplified. It's no way a complex strategy, and even, you know, beginner traders could see exactly, you know, why this approach is that we've taken. Okay, but again, you know, you can't hold too long, you know, so my entry wasn't spot on, to be honest with you. But listen, your entry doesn't have to be spot on. As long as it's there or thereabouts, that's all that matters. Now again, on my broker, the FTSE100, it's quite a wide spread. So, you know, my entry, that blue line there, my actual entry would have been better than that. It's just that the spread is quite wide. But as I said, you know, it doesn't have to be absolutely clinically spot on. So, you know, I'm looking at this now, and I know the historical data tells me that it's probably going to reverse soon. Now it's given back what it's taken, so it's gonna look to probably consolidate and reverse up. So I'm literally just waiting for a couple of more pushes down through the bearish movements, and eventually is going to hit a major support level. So let's just take that. So there you have it, guys, £379 on the European Open. Remember, I only trade these correct setups. There's only specific setups that I will trade on, and you've got to wait and be patient for these to occur. And this is what I teach my students. It's all about entering and exiting at the right time. Now listen, you're not always going to get it spot on, but we're spot on the majority of the time. It's risk management. That's the element that people really have to focus on, because the framework is there, the blueprint is there, the strategy is there, the patterns are there. It's all there. So then the real thing that you've got to work on is your risk management. And that goes for any strategy or blueprint in terms of trading the stock market. So hope you enjoyed this week's video. See you again very soon.